Hello and welcome to the I was getting ready to do the Ready Player Dumb. Yeah.
Welcome back to Ready Player Dumb. And today, Clayton's dead and Tarzan.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Semi-Perfect Podcast. It is a Wednesday evening, which means you have a 50% chance of us being
live
here.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. We got our live audience in the house. And for anyone listening on delay, thank you for checking us out. We're the Semi-Perfect Podcast every other Wednesday. Here we are. It is just past 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Joining us here tonight, we got PaleoSteno.
Hi.
We got PanamaMatt.
Buongiorno.
We have Saberspark.
This chapter is called Furrow Tectonicus, the Terraberg Forest, 89. The first century AD saw the Roman Empire near its height. Its capital, Rome, was not just the center, but the envy of the known world. I'm doing fine. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Well, I'm a little bit disappointed. I was hoping to learn about ancient Rome.
I know.
Give me one more moment. We'll have a segment when we have a quick break during our overall chats onto Q&A. I'll finish a paragraph. I've been reading this fun book called What If. I'll tell you all about that later.
Oh. And then we got Toodles.
Hi.
And I'm ACRacebest. We're your semi-perfect podcast people, but as you know, from time to time, people might hop in, people might hop out. There's no telling what's going to happen.
It's like a family reunion. We don't know who shows up.
And some of them we don't even want to show up.
Yeah, often.
Wait,
Gabe.
no.
Well, one way we always enjoy starting off our podcast is we want to know what food people are consuming during the podcast, or maybe just
Can I tell you all what I made?
Yes, please.
Actually, when I finished eating it, I was like, I didn't take a picture. So I made a sirloin steak, and I did it on my cast iron, which I'm getting better at. I can tell that I'm getting better at it. Though I'm having issues still with searing it, which I think is my problem with either the cast iron itself isn't taking to the steak well, or I'm not coating it properly for either the steak or the cast iron. Long story short, I had some sirloin steak with some roasted asparagus, and I liked it a lot. It was really good.
Best way to get a good sear in your steak is to make sure it's dry before hitting the pan.
That's huge. Before I let it warm up for 30 minutes, and I also took a paper towel and I get all I dry it out. And I also afterwards take the steak off the iron. I put it on a plate, elevated, wrapped with tinfoil to let the juices drain. And that's made a massive difference. I was surprised. I was like, whoa, that's a huge difference. It's not as I guess, I don't know. It rips better.
Well, yeah, I mean, once you put that much heat into a product like that, you got to let it settle for a few minutes at least to let it all soak back in. Otherwise, you're going to end up with juice all over your plate, which good for rolls, bad for steak.
I don't have rolls, so I don't want that. All right, that's my food. It was good.
It sounds delicious. We haven't yet eaten dinner, as is tradition.
Yes.
But yeah, we do have
It's tradition.
We have entries for our semi-perfect pod. SPP Foods is where you send them. I don't know why.
Hashtag SPP Foods on Twitter.
It feels like it's been way more than 2 months since I've done this. I don't know why. I'm just like, well, what do we do?
You mean 2 weeks?
2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 months.
Oh, good lord.
She's like, how do I podcast again?
Yeah. All right, what do we have?
All right, we have Princess Deadpool saying, no dinner yet, but I get off in 2 hours. Have fun, everyone.
Now that is what I call, right on that realm of TMI.
What do you mean?
Getting off.
Yeah, getting off in 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Shame on
Okay.
you. Shame.
Got Anime Guy. Got some buttery popcorn, Diet Coke, my new Todoroki plush from Hot Topic, and Pokemon Sword. Nice.
Man, you're bold putting your Diet Coke right there on the laptop, but you know what?
Well, brave.
Living dangerously.
Respect.
Got
Respect.
Eevee.
I like it. I love it.
That's some buttery popcorn right there.
Yeah.
Looks like it's the kind that's pre-buttered.
Yeah, there's, I've been disappointed by many buttery or movie theater popcorn that you get from the store.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this ain't even close. Like, you called this buttered?
I'll tell you what, though.
Yeah.
Something that scared the heck out of me is when I learned about how many calories are in popcorn. And I was like, I don't want to know.
Butter.
I mean, let's be real here. It's not healthy, but everyone knows that. But how's your Animal Crossing going?
Pretty good.
Hey!
Hero.
That sound actually sounded like when Oliver would throw a Pikmin and Pikmin. That's what it reminded me of. But yeah, popcorn is it's one of those things where it's like
Is that his name?
it's Oliver, right?
Yeah. Okay,
Olimar.
Oliver. I think he said Oliver.
In company.
I heard that too.
All right. Nathaniel Foga's got something really different here. A cottage pie topped with shredded pepper jack cheese.
Let's check
It's-
it out.
Yeah, sorry.
That looks like a pseudo. Yeah, it says here it's like a pseudo shepherd pie in a way.
Dang.
Interesting.
Click on this. I need to see a close-up picture.
Enhance.
Are those peas
Yeah.
and carrots?
Yeah, people put peas in shepherd pie.
Mhm.
Though I'm not crazy about shepherd pie. I think it's like okay. Like some folks are like, oh, sit down and have some shepherd pie, and it's like, yeah, it's too mushy for me.
Am I
Every
too
time I've
mushy
seen
for
shepherd
you?
pie, I was like, let's just put whatever we want in a pie, and just call it a shepherd pie.
By the
Oh,
way, Laura has joined the party.
Now, it's her audio work though.
Does it? I don't know.
Yes.
Oh,
works.
Oh,
my,
thank God.
My favorite part is when it doesn't. And it goes like,
Oh, fine. I'll restart my computer and I'll sound like a robot again.
Thank
No,
you.
you sound fine.
We got Iris with I'm having Ritz Crisp and Thins for a snack since I already had 2 cheeseburgers with chips.
Nice.
2 cheeseburgers. I did
Yummy.
that the other day. I'm like, so all the Carl's Jr. coupons I get are always like, we'll buy one, get one free. And they're like, haha, no one's going to do this. No one's dumb enough to get 2 of these for themselves. And I'm like, I am.
We got Nora
Dumb enough.
Mermaid.
I think you mean smart enough to game the system.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you.
Nora Mermaid says, sup, semi-perfect pod, having a zebra cake and missing my friends. I miss you guys so much and want to hug all of you so badly. Love you and miss you guys.
So, question, if you only eat one of those, does that mean you ate half of a zebra cake?
No, I think each of them
There's
is
2 in
bigger.
one container. Yeah, that's a silly question.
in one
What the hell-
package.
What the hell are you on about?
But Nora said that
Having
she's,
a
she's
zebra
only
cake
having one.
when there's obviously 2 right there.
So that's why I'm wondering if that is a combo.
She's having 2 zebra cakes, but maybe she put one to the side for now.
Saving one for later.
Yeah.
Listen.
Conserving food.
Well, real fast though, what's your all's favorite like hostess like baked good? I use that term by the way.
List.
I like Little Debbie stuff better.
Little Debbie.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'd have to go with the
That's
ho.
not the question he asked.
Hostess.
He asked what your favorite hostess.
Thank you.
I didn't
Objection
realize.
sustained, hero.
All right, we got ho-hos. Wait, hold on. Top 10 snacks, hostess snacks of all time. I agree. This list. All right. Oh shit. Hold on.
Oh, this is terrible.
Let me go back to here. All right.
Yeah, gotta go with the ho.
Why is number 8 just called orange flavored cupcake?
Yes. Okay. So at the bottom they've put blueberry muffin mini packs,
Mm-hmm. Crunch
donuts.
donuts.
I don't know what those are. Orange flavored
Never
cupcake.
heard of that.
Orange flavored cupcake. Like, what is this?
Vanilla zingers.
You can't say that word.
Cherry pie.
What's a cherry
of these
pie?
are-
Like,
Half of these I
it's exactly what
didn't
you
even
think it
know.
is.
It's a
do you all
cherry.
think that like
Susie Q.
McDonald's and their apple pie, they're like, oh man, McDonald's apple pie. And I'm like, oh yeah, I like eating cardboard too. Like, I'm sorry.
We got ding
Wait, have you ever
dongs.
had one?
I have had one because it was hyped up.
Why?
Because it was so hyped up, everybody is like, "Oh my god, McDonald's apple pie!" And I'm like, "You're praising this like it's it's got a Michelin star rating or something." And I took a bite, and I'm like, it's just to no surprise, it was just below average. Like, okay, I will not like poo-poo on people for eating Taco Bell or Burger King or McDonald's, but it kind of blows my mind when they're like, "Oh my god, the Big Mac is the greatest thing ever made. And I'm like, have you ever had a vegetable before?
That reminds me.
Well, that has lettuce
Yesterday
and
I had
onions
Taco
on a
Bell.
sesame seed bun.
As far as we know, Matt, they might be lettuce and onions. We don't know.
That reminds me. Yesterday I had Taco Bell, and they accidentally gave me a second cheesy gordita crunch. I was like, oh my god, this is so much.
Start crying.
I was like, it was like there was no charge. They would they just accidentally put it in the bag.
It's such a
Dude, one
blessing.
time
I was like, this is so much.
I swear, one time
That's what she said.
the cashier at Wendy's was crushing on me. I went there one time, got some nuggets. I went there the next day, ordered a 4-pack of spicy nuggets. She gave me 12, and I was like,
Whoa.
whoa,
Oh my God.
Wow.
whoa. She clearly knows that I'm handsome.
And then you're like, just put it in my mouth.
To answer Shotgunner's question in the chat, the giraffe is PanamaMatt, who we have with us in the
He's
chat.
tall.
Yeah, he's tall, so we gave
The
him
crossbred cow giraffe, yeah.
I like how someone said
Yeah.
Black Griffin should
Confirmed.
be dating Twilight right now.
Yo, look at Brett here's got herself like a burger and a potato and some mac and cheese and corn.
I guess we're not talking
I
about
mean-
the hostess stuff.
Wait, I didn't answer my hostess
Oh, I'm
question.
so sorry.
So
I'm so
So we
sorry.
got ding
Little bit-
dongs, snowballs, Twinkies, ho hos.
The pictures that they use on this website.
But then there's like their regular cupcake. Where the fuck is that on this list?
Wait, no.
Yeah,
This is
like-
like their opinion.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
looking back.
Yeah, because like the I like the regular chocolate cupcake ones, not the orange flavored ones.
I like
Ooh.
ding dongs, but like okay, so the zebra cakes I've come to notice that I really like those, but I can
zebra
only...
cakes are Little Debbie. They're not
Yeah, those aren't
Hostess.
hostess.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Little Deb.
I know that. That's why I was
Yeah, that's why we were
answering my
looking.
own question. I'll just say ding dongs.
Yeah.
I like my cake with cream.
Yeah.
I don't think I like any of those things that you said.
Wow, Hero.
Like, not even one.
Well,
I see, Laura, do you still have the Girl Scout cookies left over? Like I was gonna ask you all about Girl
God,
Scout
no,
cookies.
they're gone.
They're gone. Okay.
Are you
Or
kidding me?
like-
Those were gone in less than a month. It's like May, dude. Try to keep up.
Okay.
Come on, save.
Who eats their Girl Scout cookies? I like to keep
So
mine.
this is the real answer, because it's also not Hostess, but yeah, those are the best ones.
If it's not hosted,
Did he post porn? Is that why he's being fake?
What? Why?
Well, I'm saying it's the best imitation of Hostess.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Alright, Sarah.
Stop
You're,
touching
like,
them.
you're the kind of guy. You're the kind of guy that goes on a "What's your favorite song?" post, and you post like 7 of them. It's like I asked what your favorite was. Not what...
He's the kind of guy that when asked what's your favorite Coke product, says Pepsi.
You guys
That's
should
right.
see.
No, he's the kind of guy who'd poop his pants when he's on a roller coaster.
You guys should really see what's going on over here. Cause like Sarah's trying to run this damn podcast, and I'm like, I keep grabbing the mouse and being like, let's click this, and she's like, whoa, stop.
Yeah, because I'm like broadcasting our screen so everybody can see the tweets, the food posts.
Sorry.
I'm like, you can't just open whatever you want.
Gosh, I should close all those Zootopia
Timeout.
windows.
Okay.
This is a timeout.
Everyone knows you have Zootopia windows open. Don't even play. Whatever.
Windows
we got,
plural.
We got Fritz.
Oh wait a second. Can I make a quick
Yeah.
declaration?
Make one.
I think you just did.
Seven
I'm doing another, I have another one. Today's Danny's birthday. Laura's kitty cat's birthday. She's 3 years old.
Yay.
He's 3 today.
That has nothing to
Happy
do with
birthday
Zootopia.
to one cool cat.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, Danny.
Happy birthday to Cat.
I'm not sure where she is right this second, but I'm sure she'll appreciate it when I tell her that you said that.
I'm sure.
We've got Fritz Roll saying what could be better than eating a Mickey bar and seeing Daisy kick butt and DuckTales watching my favorite peeps on the Semi-Perfect podcast. Hope all of y'all are feeling awesome as I am because yesterday I have officially completed my first year of college. Congrats, Fritz.
Nice.
Knew you could do it.
Everyone's
Where do you get
caught up
Mickey
on
bars?
DuckTales.
I guess at the store.
Yeah, I guess you can
Laura,
get Mickey bars.
Laura, did you catch up on DuckTales?
No,
Oh.
Oh.
Don't worry.
it's okay.
No, this
I mean-
this is a reference to the old DuckTales. So
I mean, Twitter exists, and I have a Twitter account, so I don't really get to have everything be secret for DuckTales for me, unfortunately.
Britt says, "Hey, Semi-Perfect Podcast. After a while of not tuning in, I finally am here at the beginning of the podcast with a picnic dinner with my roomies."
Awesome. And
Whoa.
welcome back.
This is so... Wait a minute. This is from last time.
Oh, is it?
I was like, this looks so familiar.
That's from last time.
All right, let us refresh the.
There's
we
Brett.
got-
There's the new
there
one.
it is. There's the new one. Hey, Semi-Perfect Pod. Don't have any food right now. We're waiting for the pizza we ordered, so have a selfie of me and my cat sitting on top of a pile of wedding gifts.
Nice.
kitty.
Very good, cat. The cat looks like it's asleep.
Yes.
And then what's this?
That meatloaf smoke ring from John Stepnowski.
Oh.
Delish.
That is
Good
a
old
very
meatloaf.
beautiful picture.
Yep.
High pixels. Love it. Did we catch the one Saber was pointing out? I know Saber was pointing one out.
I thought it was Brits, wasn't it? Saberspark? Hello?
What I do?
You pointed out a tweet specifically. Was it Brits?
I was reading one from last week from
So,
her.
Yeah,
my bad.
so we just did that. All right. So
Okay.
yeah, we're all on the same page here.
Let's just check our
Which is
notifications just to make
The
sure
wrong book.
that we didn't miss any that squeaked by. Wow, Twitter
Squeak.
just needs to load up. Come on, Twitter, you can do it. Okay.
Twitter can't do it.
All right, I think we did get everybody.
I think we did it. All right, cool. Thank you all for your submissions and making me hungry. Let's see here. So once again, I'm letting Sarah handle the mouse because I was breaking things.
Well, now you can do whatever because we have just the
Well,
regular screen.
let's find out how peeps are doing. PanamaMatt,
Aye.
what have you been up to in the last few weeks?
You know, asking me what I've been up to in the last few weeks is a very interesting question because during this whole coronavirus thing, time has ceased to have all meaning. I can't tell you if the things that I've done happened yesterday or 2 weeks ago or when.
Yeah.
But long story short, I've been enjoying the weather. I've been trying to keep up with work and what the courts are currently doing and or not doing, as the case may be. And while I probably... No, I'm being more productive than I think I am.
Mhm.
At the same time, for as much downtime as I've had, I've not gotten as far ahead as I'd like to be.
Yeah.
Partly because with all the courts being closed and a lack of uncertainty as when they're going to open again, a lot of my time has been spent on bureaucratic paper shuffling.
Yeah.
Aside from that, having some fun, playing some games,
How's your back
trying
doing?
to... It's been better.
Okay.
It's still messed up.
It's making progress. I had an epidural last week or week before
Really?
last.
For all the
It-
demolition derbies I've been in, the fact that Matt only
Including the one that broke your driver's seat and
Yeah.
folded your spine
Oh.
up the T-bone bar.
I got lucky.
I'm so
You got very
sorry,
lucky.
Matt.
You know, it's one of those things that happens in life. You know, I've been involved in a couple of other collisions before that have had no problem whatsoever. This one just apparently hit things right.
Yeah.
Who knew 7 months down the line it would still sting?
Gosh.
So are you shorter now?
Not that I'm aware of.
Now, well, I have one other question for you. You live closer than I do to the coast. Have you gone down to the beach at night and seen the... I know
The
beaches are closed.
bioluminescent algae.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard thing number one about this.
So
Apparently, it's a thing going on right
yeah,
now.
yeah. There's like
Are we having another? Is it another? What is it? A red bloom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like red algae, and
Yeah,
But at nighttime, it glows electric blue.
yeah.
I've not been down to see this,
Awesome.
and I kind of going to now. What? Where is it happening?
Oh.
I was the other day. I went into, or I was down in Redondo Beach, and I saw the
Okay.
red algae. So I was like, oh, I must be in the right spot. And
Sorry,
I didn't
red
get,
tide. That's what they call it.
I didn't get chased off. Wow, you
Shut
spit
up.
algae.
Yeah, I appreciate that despite the governor's quarantine or prohibition on using the beaches, our sheriff here in the county just said no. I'm not enforcing that.
Holy crap.
Let's see.
That's really red.
Yeah.
We're
Let's
looking at a
see
picture.
where it's doing its stuff.
Well, while we get these answers, because I'll tie this back together. Laura, how are you
I'm
doing
waiting for
these
this
last
one.
2 weeks?
I'm okay. You know, I'm just kind of stressed, but you know, such is life right
Still
now.
working?
Yep, still working. Doesn't look like there's any chance of not working unless something goes horribly wrong. So I'm gonna hope that I continue to go to work
Mm-hmm.
because you know, Virginia's just being Virginia, but it's fine.
Virginia's being
yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah, so probably gonna have to keep going to work.
That's so
I've been-
stupid.
I've been just having my normal life for the most part, other than I can't like visit friends.
Yeah.
But like, you know, most of what I do has not really changed. So nothing super
Mhm.
exciting other than that I can't do extra stuff.
Ugh.
So Animal Crossing.
Yep.
Great segue.
Yeah.
Hirosashii. What have you been up to?
I'm playing Animal Crossing.
Yay.
Yep. I got a blue rose today.
Whoa, nice.
Oh,
Finally.
finally got one?
Finally.
Wow, Saber.
Finally.
Hero got a blue rose.
It's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
If you don't know how much work that takes, it's just like, okay. What are the people play Animal Crossing?
Is it the
They're
hardest
like,
thing to
yeah! Yeah, it's
Okay.
the hardest flower to get.
Yeah.
It takes many, many days. And lots of corralling up friends to water your flowers for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. That's about it,
Nice.
honestly.
What about Paleo? What's new in Paleo's world?
Not too much. I visited my mom today, and because I ordered her a new TV for Mother's Day, since that's this weekend.
What?
But it'll yeah, it's this Sunday.
Of course it
Someday.
is. Just kidding.
But yeah, because her old TV was like an older model from an older Samsung model from the late 2000s, and it would scream every time it would turn on, and it also had a lot of burn in on it. So I was like, oh yeah, this is just terrible.
Yeah.
So I bought her a smart TV, and she can like log into my streaming services, so she can watch stuff from home, because she's also out of work right now because she's a hairdresser, so you know all the salons are closed.
Yeah.
So you said that her TV would scream. Can you?
Yeah,
can
like
you
when it turns on,
please
it would just scream.
Can you give a demonstration of what a TV screaming sounds like?
Or don't.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do
that.
I'm really just curious what a screaming TV sounds like.
Like an electronic sort of like scream, or like it would
Nazgul?
sound like an actual person screaming.
No, not like a person screaming. It sounds like an electronic scream. Yeah,
That's weird.
All right.
like it was very high pitch.
Okay. Like, would it be kind of like the you know, when the national service warning sound goes off? Is that kind of like that similar?
Not like that. It's more like it just like, you know when like a game freezes and it makes like a weird noise.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
But other than that, I've been taking care of the new kitten that I got, Patches. He's been getting along with Salem really well. Like Salem will play with him, and he's not like too rough with him. He'll lick him, so that's good.
Good.
Nice. Saber, what's new with you?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
It be like that though, right? Like,
Yeah. It'd be like that.
Absolutely nothing. It's just falling into same old.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
I feel.
Yeah.
I feel cold. Yeah. Yeah.
We lost power like last week, I think it was.
Yeah,
Was it
that
last
Oh,
week?
it clicked off on me here today.
Oh no.
When was it?
Right in the middle of drafting a trust.
It was the day that we were gonna do the Untitled Goose Game, whatever day that was.
Oh.
Oh, it was right after the podcast day. Then it
Yeah.
was like 2 days after. Yeah, we lost power, and it was.
It's weird because like that was the first day where it was like, oh hey, it's gonna be like over 90, and like the previous days were like upper 70s, and it's such a jump. So like we were thinking that probably the reason why it went out is like everybody was literally running all of their AC units, and it just was too much.
Yep.
We lost our power for about 4 hours,
Yep.
and it was hot.
But we got barbecue.
We persevered.
Yeah. What else have we been up to?
Just doing a lot of filming. That's basically all we've been doing.
Games, and I've been still continuing on with my iRacing career.
Yes.
I'm gonna be a professional someday.
Yeah, you had a rivalry yesterday, right?
Yeah, some guy told me that I must be the worst person that has ever been on iRacing. And I'm like, dude, I only crashed you twice. Okay? Like,
Both times you deserved it.
no, both times were just so stupid. I felt bad, but then he ended up in a race later, and like other people were like, hey, so we hear that you just wrecked the field, and I'm like, oh great. But I was also in that race with Tommy and another friend, and then they all got into it, and the other friend was like, dude, for someone who complains a lot, you suck. And it was like, that's funny.
Oh,
Everyone
so
getting
it's
mad.
typical online
Everybody getting mad at each
toxicity.
other.
Nice.
See, I don't get on the voice chats because I know that I'll only say things that I won't feel like my mom should hear. She'd be like, did you just say a bad word? Did you tell someone to shut up? But yeah, I mean, other than that, it's not really anything new here. Yeah, it's just hot. It's
Yeah.
just really
warm.
warm. Summer
Topeka.
showed up, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we feel it. So moving on with the podcast, Sarah, you have something down here that I'm intrigued about because I have no
Yeah.
idea what this is
So
referring
I
to.
was digging up on Equestria Daily, and I saw this one headline underneath news, saying Ghostbusters and Power Rangers getting crossover pony toys, and I was like, hold the phone.
What?
Hold the phone. So here's what the article says. New listings that have been removed from Amazon's UK branch seem to have hinted at an upcoming toy line built around the idea of ponies crossing over with other properties similar to what we are seeing with Transformers in the near future. The listing had a pretty specific description hinting at a future character named Plasmane. They also mentioned My Little Pony for Transformers and Power Rangers Morphin Pink Pony, meaning we will most likely see a bunch of crossovers out of this. So here's the apparent item description that was promptly deleted off of the Amazon UK. My Little Pony x Ghostbusters crossover fandoms collide when My Little Pony meets Ghostbusters for a crossover toy. Cutie marks and ectoplasm. Crossover collection Plasmane is a exciting character matchup. 5-inch figure. Has a retro My Little Pony form factor with Ghostbusters inspired design. Classic Ghostbusters movie inspired pony design. And Cutie Mark are inspired by the iconic Ghostbusters story. Collect a favorite Ghostbusters look in a fresh and different form factor.
all the
display.
punctuation is missing from
Yeah.
this, by the way.
Figure.
That throws out its credibility a little bit.
Figure is a great way for fans of the My Little Pony or Ghostbusters brand to complete their collections. Display your figure in the special packaging ages 4 and up. Build your collection. Start a collection with Transformers, My Little Pony. Oh no, My Little Prime, and Power Rangers Morphin Pink Pony. My Little Pony figures, each sold separately, subject to availability. Manufacturer Hasbro.
Power Rangers Morphin Pink Pony.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't fathom half the words you just said.
Yeah, so there was some recently that happened. I don't know if it was last year or in 2018, where Hasbro bought the rights to Power Rangers. So this makes sense.
Yeah.
That they would do some kind of crossover
Wording.
with ponies.
Fuck the wording.
Okay. So
Yeah.
now it feels like a good time.
Ghostbusters, I don't know if they make toys for Ghostbusters, but I do know they make toys for Power Rangers.
I think I've made or told this story before, but the fun part of growing up where I did is that they, at least used to, I don't know if they still do, they film Power Rangers out here.
Yeah.
And there would be days where I would be riding my bike to work. Wow. Wait, let me try again.
To school.
Riding my bike to like 3rd grade. And I would be riding through a park and there would legitimately be Power Rangers just walking around because they were filming. Like,
Oh, that's lit.
it was like the only I guess bummer is that like I wasn't super into Power Rangers, so to me I was just like, oh wow, cool, they're filming something. But like it was so just weird. Like I guess that's one of the things about growing up in LA is that it's not unusual to see them filming a lot of stuff. I'm sure like places like Georgia have also like do a lot of filming, but yeah, like I would be riding through the park and there's Power Rangers just walking around. I grew up in a dangerous city.
Yeah, and we've seen recently some filming crews and stuff. Like since I've moved here, I've seen a lot of filming crews. It's like it's weird. It's just like whoa.
So there was a show called what was it called? I think it was called Weeds. I think that's all it was called, and it was about like I guess some like mom who was like growing weed or whatever. And from the silence, I'm guessing nobody's heard of the show. I think it was like I think it was on HBO or something. But
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they came to my family.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to use our house for the location. I think it had a few seasons. Yeah. And the thing is like because of like NDAs and they don't want to give you too much information about their show.
Yeah.
All they could tell them was what was written on the packet. And they're like, if you agree to this, it's money. And all it had was, it just said weeds. And it had like a marijuana plant on it. And they're like, oh yeah, that's exactly what we need. It's just a bunch of people smoking pot in our house. That's going to be great. And then to find out like, oh, that totally wasn't what it was about. Of course, my parents were like, damn it, after they found out that it was just like exterior shots and whatnot that they needed it for. But yeah, that was almost my house that was in there. So it's interesting out here. Yeah. But I totally tangented the topic. But is anyone going to get these toys? Sarah?
I gotta see them first.
I never really collected the toys, so probably not.
Liars, you bronies. I know.
Maybe if it looks cool and it's at a good price point.
Yeah.
Hi, Jax.
Hey, Jax Blade.
What's weird is that. What's weird about it is like, so, did the description mention Transformers?
It mentioned that there is another toy line right now for Transformers.
Yeah, that's coming. And let me see if I can find it.
Okay, because they did that comic with the ponies and Transformers. I'm surprised they never like made a pony Transformer.
That is so true.
I think they're working.
It's like they're both Hasbro proproperties, so it was like, well, why wouldn't you just make one?
Yeah. Jax, by the way, put a super chat saying that he says, my mom used to watch the F out of that show, Weeds, LMFAO. So, okay, so it does exist. Thank you for confirming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we almost made bank.
Yeah.
And, yeah. You never came out. Like, you first came out to California to see me after we moved out of that house.
Yeah.
So, dang. I could have been rich, Sarah. Parents ruined it.
Yeah.
My opportunity.
Oh yeah, as far as like Hasbro and what they're focused on, because I noticed Kari was asking about like shouldn't they be focused on pony life? It was like, I guess there's different like divisions of Hasbro, because like there's the division that works on the toys, the division that works on the watchable media, and also right now they're barely working on anything because the the virus. But yeah.
Missy showed up.
Missy.
Howdy, Missy.
See. Wow, thank you, Missy. It says Jack's Blade. Anyway, I am here and excited because season 10 starts this month in the comments.
Comics.
I said comments, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, comics.
Yeah, you did.
Comics. Missy, as always, thank you so much. And Jack's Blade also, thank you.
Which are not canon, just like the Adventure Time comics are not canon.
Ooh, bam. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably gonna take the same stance that Paleo is here, because I'm like,
Yeah, because like with the Adventure Time comics, some things happen within the comics that then in a later season was like, well, that doesn't make sense. So like they contradict each other. So it's like, oh, well, yeah. So the comics aren't canon at all. They don't work with the writers of the show at all.
Yeah. I forget. Do you want the chat?
And like the season 9 was like a satisfying thing anyway.
I just remembered that. Yes, it was very
I mean,
satisfying.
it's good for people to have more of like the pony stuff. I've just never really been into the comics that much. But it's like,
Whoa.
oh,
Dude, all right,
Whoa.
we're having a war here.
oh,
Holy shit.
You guys got all quiet, and I was like, what's
yeah.
going on?
I was like, oh.
Can you say that? What did Jack's Blade say there? Jack's Blade.
He messed it up.
Missy.
Watahi.
Watahi
Ga
ga
Kita?
kita.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Watashi.
Watashi.
Watashi. F. Watashi ga kita. What does that mean? Anyone? I don't know.
Hero,
Hero?
hero,
Hero?
I've come.
hero.
I've come.
I have
I have
come.
come.
Everyone's just giving us all the information here. Yo, Saberspark!
Saber.
Whoa! Look at that.
Woot woot.
Saber with I'm here too.
That's 200 pennies.
The best part is that
Oh,
it didn't even
baby.
stay long enough in the live chat. Thank you, Saber. Oh man, very generous people joining us here tonight. So yeah, any other thoughts that anyone has about these toys? When does Pony Life come out, by the way?
We don't know.
Okay.
I thought they like are hiding it for now because of the whole good as hell thing.
Oh.
I thought they were just not showing anything because the virus.
Watashi ga kita is not I am here, it's I have come.
Oh.
Well, that's what you said.
I know, but people are like, yeah. And I'm like, no, it's I have come. It does not translate to I am here.
Yeah, but saying I have come is a lot worse.
I mean,
saying I am here.
But let's be.
I'm just telling you, that's what it means. It doesn't mean anything lewd in Japanese.
Is there any way to say anything lewd in Japanese? I feel like they just don't have that.
Yes!
There are very many ways to say things that are lewdly in Japanese.
Is there?
Here, babe, can you see this one that was
Okay,
submitted by Anime Guy?
Anime Guy 1 entering the fray here says, Ome wa Mao Shinderu.
Perfect.
Well spoke.
What did I say? Someone's gonna make me say like something bad, aren't they? Oh gosh. Oh Lord.
I
Well,
don't know what that one means.
I don't.
We can probably copy and paste into Google Translate.
Do it. Do it. I need to know what people are saying now.
Paste. Doink.
We did it. I just said.
Oh, meaning. Oh god. Translate.
Translate. Hurry, Sarah.
Ah! Oh no.
What did you press?
I thought that Google Translate would just be like, here's the thing.
Maybe.
It's an anime meme.
Oh. It's an anime meme. That was my first guess. We're trying so hard.
Yeah. Jesus.
Wait, it's an Urban Dictionary.
You are already dead. Is that what it means? That's what it is? Okay.
They're going nuts right now
Yeah.
with the super
Oh,
chat. We
geez.
got a super chat war going on here.
We got Drummer Shy saying, I'm a waste money too, you nerds, sending it to the AC Race Car Foundation.
It's not a waste of money. But
Jax-
thank you, Drummer Shy. Thank you very much. And
Jax Blade has hero. Don't lose your My Hero Academia cred now.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, I have a question for you all.
Yeah.
What up?
All right, so let's say every single one of us are given $100, and it's gonna disappear in the next 10 minutes. You have to spend it, or it's gone.
Ooh.
What would you do with your $100?
Okay, and I'm guessing the save options, you have to spend it, right?
Yeah, you have
You have to spend it. There's no saving this. You can't just store it in your banking account or whatever. You have to spend it.
Can I put it towards something?
Elaborate.
Like, okay, for example, that iRacing account. I know that eventually I'll have to put money into it because it's a regenerating subscription.
I guess if you want, if you want to buy like a subscription for that, that's fine. Yes.
Okay, but I'll think of a better answer.
Maybe I'd buy more princess stocks.
Get in the stock market.
Yeah.
Actually,
let's see how Carnival's doing.
let's see. Judy.
No, stop.
Paleo, what about you?
Right now, I would probably just buy a few games. Like, okay, I have this. These are the games that I want, and now I don't have to buy them anymore because I got $100 that I was forced to spend. So I was like, okay, I'll spend it on these then.
There you go.
Laura, what about you?
How much time do I have?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, man. Okay, so it has to be something online. And it can't
Or-
be something
or-
like
or an
custom,
hour,
because then you
or-
have to-
You know what? I'll give you an hour. You have an hour to spend it. So if you want to drive out and get gas or whatever, you can.
Pretend that
yeah,
travel
I feel like I would
isn't
try to spend as much of it on practical things first, just to be like,
toilet paper.
right?
$100.
Gas and like maybe go buy groceries because like
An
$100
amiibo
is-
card for Bob.
an amiibo card for Tia.
That sounds so specific.
It's like enough to like get like it's not a lot of money, but it's also not like a lot of money, you know. So like I'd probably be like,
Yeah,
well, how many
and also like
practical
trying to get
things
gas
can
right
I
now. I
buy?
was like, well, I can fill up on like $10 now. What?
Yeah.
$10? Where the hell you living? What?
Well, I mean, I filled up for 15, so close to it.
Dang, dude.
Going from empty?
Also, you fill up on premium, so it's a lot more.
I do. But you filled up from empty on $15?
Yeah, like
Nuts.
it's real cheap.
What scooter
Is
were
it-
you
Is
driving?
it literally like less than $1 where you are?
No, it's not less than $1.
Oh, yeah,
Hero-
it's not
Hero.
inside.
What'd you spend it on Hero?
I'm sorry, I missed the beginning of the question because I'm doing Animal Crossing things. I'm so sorry. What was it?
$100. You can't save it. You have to spend it. You get 1 hour. What do you spend it on?
1 hour?
Yep.
I can't save it.
Nope.
Gotta spend it.
Or just disappeared.
100. Yeah, 100. Wow, how privileged and like silly is it gonna sound to say 100 is just not enough for anything that I want anymore.
Premium.
Not anything you want.
Not anything I want really anymore.
Well, wait, can you
Um,
use it as like part of a larger purchase to be like, oh, I want to buy something
Or
for
does it have
$200,
to be, yeah,
but I can use this $100 as like
as
part of
a
that.
mitigation of that price? Yeah.
I like what Missy said in the chat. I could spend $100 in 30 seconds. Oh, wait.
Jax Play just sent us a super chat, and it says, tree TP sharp fang.
You
L-
got it.
Apparently, the
Oh,
translation
gosh.
is "I am here to cheat hero and support RaceBest." That's what Google says
What
it
is-
says.
I'll look at it in just a second. I'm thinking
here, let me
about
copy paste it in the chat.
$100.
Well, if you want to keep thinking about it, we can ask Matt and see what he has to
Yeah,
say.
Matt, what do
Mhm.
you got, Matt?
Can I use it to pay down my student loans?
Yes, you can.
Done.
yeah.
Actually, I thought about this. I'm like, I don't even know how much monitors are. I haven't bought one in a while, like a computer monitor, but
Yeah.
we need to get some monitors.
Yeah, actually.
We're setting up like a dual computer system to help us with streaming.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, a good one is more than
They're
100.
crazy right now.
Yeah.
Damn it! I was hoping to
let,
be
me,
like
let me look at what
Oh,
Jack
they're
said.
expensive.
$15 to fill up my
私はヒロを騙してレースベストをサポ
Sarah,
ー
what
ト
would
す
you
るた
buy?
めにここにいます。Why are you here to cheat me?
Carnival stock.
So you're sticking with carnival stocks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Watch that money grow.
Oh yeah, legit word. Cool. All right. I was curious.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good question. And again, thanks to our super chatters going nuts here.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, you know who I was talking to, Saber.
You're welcome.
Let's see here. So moving on to our next topic.
Yes. Sorry.
So this one, we got a few here that will involve spoiler tags.
Yeah.
So we'll jump into them. First one we're going to talk about are the new DuckTales episodes. For anyone that's not caught up, we'll. So yes, we will come get you. Now, for anyone that's watching, what we're gonna do, if you're new to the podcast, we are gonna put up a spoiler screen. As long as it is up, we will be discussing DuckTales spoilers. This is our screen that Sarah so loves.
Yeah.
And then if you're watching live with us here, all you have to do is mute the podcast. As soon as the screen goes away, you're safe to come in. No spoilers. We'll hit you with this. So we'll start with DuckTales. Now, if you see another spoiler screen, which we'll be discussing the Willoughbys a little bit later on, that spoiler screen will work the same way. So starting with DuckTales here, what episodes are we even talking about?
So the first one is Louis 11.
Okay.
In which, Laura's muted herself. So has everybody watched Louis 11?
Yes.
Okay. So Daisy Duck.
What?
Yeah, Daisy Duck appears and joins the crew, and I really enjoyed this episode. One thing I gotta say, like, it's always good when Louis gets a piece of humble pie, but that whole thing when he's like getting shot down by the lady, I'm like, man, that's rough. God, that's rough. She's so hard on him, and he's like about to like cry basically. I'm like, oh, Louis, you tried.
Poor guy.
Oh man, I'm very excited for what they're gonna do with Daisy in this show, because it started off so good, as far as like kind of like hinting at what their relationship's gonna be like in the future.
Hardcore and
Oh my god. I'm so excited, and this episode was just so great on a number of levels. The song thing that happened was amazing. The animation for that was just great. What did y'all think?
Can I say something about the song?
Yes.
yeah.
Because the song was great, but also it sounded exactly like "Remember Me" from Coco. Like when I was thinking back on it, I was like, this sounds like "Remember Me."
I just love the way that like Daisy somehow has this like built-in interpreter where she's like, I understand everything he says.
Yeah. I understand you perfectly.
He's got such a beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's so good. Does anybody else have anything they want to like add about Louis 11?
It's such a small and stupid detail, but when Louis and Dewey were talking, Dewey was like, "Wait a minute, and then he starts like counting on his fingers. He's like, 11. What's number 12?" But I like went back because he only has 8 fingers, and they legit like wrapped around his hand again just to count to 11.
Yeah.
I was like, good job, because you knew damn well I was gonna go back and look at that you counted.
They know those levels of details.
Right.
They go there as far as the details go, and
Mhm.
it's just a solid episode all around.
I think it was on the last podcast where the question came up about who my favorite one is, like of the three
Of the
brothers.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it's the blue one. right?
Did
the
this
one that's-
episode
Bluey.
solidify?
Bluey is his
Yeah,
name.
my favorite. Oh, the blue one.
The one that I don't know his name.
Huey's brother. No.
Oh no, Dewey's brother.
So after stating I think that's my favorite one, now I'm actually paying attention to it and I'm like, yes, I did choose the right one for me. So yeah.
I love Dewey. So much that he's my background currently. Actually, it's from this episode when he was doing his little number on the stage, and I forget why he's catching a phone, but he caught the phone or whatever, and like just like freaking wires are just like floating in the air, and it just like it's a really cool looking. Like as soon as the scene happened, I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna be my background because I have moving backgrounds, and then I did.
Two favorite parts of this episode for me. One was Donald's song as interpreted by Daisy's ears, and then was the yo-yo routine that he pulls off. There's something about the way that they had him own it as he's screwing up that I was like, I don't know. I was just like, this speaks to me on a spiritual level.
Yeah.
And I loved it. That made me laugh real good.
Elder Questorm said when Donald comes out of the vent saying "Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon," I was like, with how distorted his voice is like it almost sounds like he's saying "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker."
Oh my gosh.
Jack's Blade says green super chat for the best boy Louis.
Yeah. Louis' my favorite.
Did Jax do like research like what color will give me the green?
I think you can just select what color you want your super chat to be.
Can you? I don't think so.
Can you?
I don't think you
it's
can.
an amount.
I think it's based on how much
Oh.
money you give.
Okay.
That's right, Jax. That's right. Now make no, I'm kidding. You already made Huey earlier.
It's so weird. I like want Huey to be my favorite. I'm like, give the good boy some good episodes.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
But Dewey is still my favorite and probably will not be overtaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very okay. So you actually felt bad for Louis. in this
Yeah, I
episode.
felt bad for Louis. Like, it's good when he gets that kind of slice of humble pie because he can be very full of himself and a bit of an asshole. But this one, he got cut down pretty dang hard, and I was like, oh, ouch. He's still a
baby
kid.
boy.
He's still a kid. Oh man.
Right.
All right. So any other thoughts about this episode before we move on to the next one? Okay.
I thought from the beginning, like when Louis kept shooting down Dewey, I was like, oh, it's gonna be this kind of episode where Louis gonna get trashed, and
Yeah.
I was like, this is predictable. Again, I don't think predictable is bad, but I was just like, yeah, I totally know what's about to happen
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the fact that the what's her name? The person they're trying to get on the it list for, I forgot what her name was. But yeah,
Lady
like
Gaga?
the fact that she was also an African Grey, I was like, oh, she's related to Mark Meeks somehow.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mark
that's
Meeks
one
has
of the
been
things
pretty popular.
Yeah.
That is one of the things I enjoy about this show. They can do something that seems predictable and then just turn it on its ear.
Mm-hmm.
We got a super chat from Jax Blade. Says, here's one for Dewey. And I did one for Huey earlier. Yes,
Yeah.
you did, Jax.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Okay, so there was another episode in
Yeah.
DuckTales.
Astro Boyd, which is the latest episode that came out.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah, it's a good episode. In which, the Boyd character comes back, and it turns out he's got a huge backstory that connects him with Gyro Gearless, and they go to Tokyo, which I
Tokyo.
Yeah, Tokyo.
Oh my god.
Of
That
course.
makes me laugh every single time it is said in the episode, which they say it a lot.
How insulting to Japanese culture.
And Boyd is basically Astro Boy.
Yeah, boy.
It was a good episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of times where, which one was with him? in this one? Which brother?
Huey.
I like that they.
Huey. But like Huey.
Call.
Oh, what's that, Saber?
I'm sorry. No, you're going with something. Continue.
Mine's quick. I was just gonna say, like, every time Huey's like, "No, he's a real boy." I'm like, "No."
Technically, he's not, but like, come on, he's just a sweet little robot.
Sure.
It's good for Huey though to have something
Yeah.
where it's like, because he gets a lot of criticism for like, you're more robot than actual person. So that was a good. Like,
Yeah, I love how the episode began with. I was like, "You're like a robot." I was like, "Oh, you made friends with a robot."
Was that one of the Beagle Boys as a?
It looks
As a
like
junior?
like a little beagle boy or something. I don't know.
How many kids did she churn out?
A
Good
lot.
lord.
So, in this
All of them.
episode, when we're arriving in Tokyo, if you will, there was a Sailor Moon reference, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
there she is. There.
Yeah, that's sailboat. Yeah.
And then I saw like
not-
some Lupin the Third stuff too.
Yeah, I was like, it was Jax who was like, is that Lupin? And I was like, oh my god, it's Lupin.
I
That
feel
one
like-
was a little less expected, I would say.
Yeah, I feel like there's
Yeah, and
always
even-
like one episode where like the artist people are always like, let's cram as many of these things as we can.
Yeah, and even Inspector Tezuka is another Lupin character that she is based on,
Yeah.
with the
Mhm.
detective that's always chasing Lupin.
Mm-hmm.
And of course,
Oh
even the
my
way, even the way that she's
God, I didn't
even the
even
way that she's
notice.
animated
Yeah.
is where her legs like go up. It was like that is like referencing Lupin.
How
Yeah.
did I not even notice that? Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
And Tezuka's the person who came up with Astro Boy. So
Mhm.
like, that's another one. So.
Also, I want to mention it because I was losing my shit a little bit. The fight! Oh my god, the fight between Gizmo Duck and Boyd was animated so well.
Yeah. It was.
Like I watched it like 16 times, no joke. I was like, oh my god. I was like, why did they go so hard on it?
Yeah.
Like,
And then I love when it cuts back to like Gyro and I forget the doctor's name, but Gyro and him
Mhm.
fighting, and they're just like slapping each other in the face, and it's just like
Right.
their little cat
That's-
fight versus.
That's some like old cartoon comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
almost.
That's the best part of the entire episode, in my opinion, was Gyro's character.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Mhm.
'cause I was thinking about that, but going to the episode, I'm like, a lot of these characters, they've done a good job of changing them and growing them in ways compared to the original.
Mhm.
And I'm like, Gyro's kind of like this ass, and that's fine. He's just this sassy scientist who thinks he's always right and also screws up, but also always thinks he's right. But it's like, oh, that's why he's so messed up, because he got some backstory here. So that was nice. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I
Yeah,
get it.
and also
Typical-
in the flashback, he has like his old outfit.
Yeah.
I like
Well, that's
that
weird.
though. They kind of flesh out like that he's not an asshole purely because he just hates everything or he's got a grudge. It's like, no, he's got a reason because he fucked up once so hard that he's afraid to fuck up again.
Yeah.
It's like, that's good. So thank
Why is
you.
DuckTales so good at giving characterization and not making it cringy? Like they do it so well.
Yeah.
Good writers.
It's not bad.
But I'm
it's
like,
just
they
misunderstood.
have to mess up at some point. Pony's messed up in season 2, episode 8.
Wow.
Damn,
Wow.
hold on.
Yo, I'll never forget the day I was disappointed in Ponies. I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
what
me
was
me
that?
too.
Is
I
that,
was like,
is that
oh,
Daring Do or Daring Don't? No, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
it's Daring Do. Oh no,
They betrayed us.
What's it
The-
called? Mayor Duel.
Mayor Duel, thank you. I don't know why. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, they can mess up. It is possible.
Yeah.
That's right, because
To be fair, DuckTales messed up in my opinion, season 2, episode 2. I was like, it was alright.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
It was an episode that made me like, no, why? Why are the characters acting like this? Why? That's
right.
that's
It
the,
wasn't that bad.
that's what made me with feeling Pinky King when I first watched through the show. I was like, why is Twilight acting like this? Why is she being an idiot?
Oh,
then
and
you're-
if we're getting into ponies, we should bring Laura back. Are we done with DuckTales?
No, this is spoilery. Jacksplay just sent a super chat, says, Dewey blue like water. Louie green like Luigi, and Huey has a red hue. That's how Hero taught me to remember each Duck Brothers name, LMAO.
It's like not even hard to remember these names though.
Hey, yeah.
It's three. It's three. But yes, that is a way you can remember them. And seemingly a lot of people
And
have
Fooey
trouble
is
remembering.
yellow.
A lot of people have trouble remembering them too. I'm just like, really? It's
Yeah.
three.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't
It's
get it.
three.
I don't get it.
No, you.
It's
You mess 'em
easier
up all
now
the time.
since they have a better personality
Yeah.
with this new DuckTales. With the old DuckTales, it's like they're all the same.
All right. So any last thoughts on the episode?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Solid.
All right. So now we're gonna transfer over to our next discussion. So we're gonna bring down our DuckTales spoilers, and give a little breath between, so people can potentially make it back in. For anyone that was avoiding, our next bit of conversation is going to be in regards to the movie, Netflix movie, right? And no, what was it?
Yeah, Netflix.
Netflix. Okay, Netflix movie, The Willoughbys. We're going to be talking about that. We'll have a spoiler screen come up. So, is there anyone here who hasn't seen Willoughbys that is looking to avoid spoilers?
My answers to those questions are in order: yes and no.
And now I have to remember what order I asked the questions in.
I've seen it, but I'm not really interested in it.
I think that was on our end. Sorry, our internet kind of took a little nosedive. We could not hear anything y'all said.
It's so weird. It's so weird
Yeah.
that it is because we have like an excellent connection.
Uh-oh. Should I disconnect and reconnect?
Yeah. Leave these guys behind. This is our podcast now.
Hold on.
Woo!
Alright, let's see.
Are you having trouble with
Yeah.
Discord, it's funny because like
you could change the server. That'll probably fix it.
Okay.
yeah, it looks like we're okay now.
Okay.
Ish.
We're in the yellow.
10-4.
Let's see. I forget how I do that.
We're just going to fix something.
So you go right at the you click on the server, and then at the top it'll say semi-perfect. Then you click on that arrow, then go to server setting.
Mhm.
Then it should say server region right in the middle there. You can change it. Just change it to some other region that's not hilariously far away.
We're all learning.
US Central is what it is.
Put it on West.
Okay.
Is that gonna mess up them though?
Maybe. I think we had changed it
Screw
to Central.
them.
Alright, let's see how that do. Alrighty.
Okay.
Willoughbys.
That was weird. So, yeah, so we're going to be talking about Willoughbys. Sarah, do you have a spoiler screen for this?
I do.
Or
Shall I
she
bring it
do.
up?
Yes.
Alright.
So as long as the spoiler screen is up, that is your indication for anyone that's avoiding spoilers on this new animated film from Netflix, The Willoughbys. When this spoiler screen goes down, if you have us muted, that is your sign that it is safe to return. So we'll give a little bit of time for people to make their way out if they're looking to avoid spoilers. So yeah, Sarah, do you have any little bits as far as just in regards to...
This was a movie that I didn't really know about until it actually came out, and then everybody was kind of talking about it, and so I watched it for the first time by myself, and then I was like, this movie is pretty dang good. I better show it to Jeffrey, and then so he and I watched it together, and just wanted to give it a little bit of a shout out because it is a very good movie that came out on Netflix recently. I think it came out like a week or two ago.
And it came out of nowhere, like you said. Like,
yeah, I think it had a little bit of a
for
lead up
us.
for marketing.
For
but-
us, it came
yeah,
out of
for
nowhere.
us, yeah.
But yeah, so who here has seen Willoughbys? Or is there anyone here who hasn't seen Willoughbys?
I think it was
Me.
Lauren here.
Okay.
And I'm
Okay.
pretty sure Matt has
Now, when Laura, when you were telling us, that was right when Discord started going away,
Yeah.
and I was gonna try and
I
pretend,
see.
but
Yeah, so my response was just that I had not seen it, but I'm also not particularly trying to avoid spoilers or anything.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
I'll just quietly listen.
Cool. So
Maybe you guys
yeah.
can convince me to watch it. or not watch it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we'll do our best.
So like the basic gist of this movie is a group of kids that have terrible parents.
Want to be orphans.
Yeah, they want to orphan themselves, so then they send their parents off on a very dangerous adventure, like world traveling adventure.
They try to get their parents killed. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, this movie's kind of full of that sort of dark humor sort of thing. But it's just
humor, she says.
yes. But yeah, that's kind of like the gist, and the parents hire a nanny, so they have to, they become friends with the nanny eventually, but they're kind of wary of her at first. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a cute little movie, and I really like the art style as well.
Yeah.
It's very reminiscent of like kind of like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs style, like where it's 3D, but it's not afraid to be cartoony, and I love that trend in 3D movies where it's like they try to, emulate 2D animation as much as possible.
That's a nice trend. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So-
3D has this like not like super serious. I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like the squash and stretch of 3D is like way less prevalent. They just aren't quite as ridiculous as like 2D things. And yeah, it's nice to see that it can still be that way,
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I feel like I'm leading this conversation. Because I know that Saber and Paleo, you watched it and you kind of wrote your own video reviews. Y'all have anything you want to add?
Character designs are fun.
Yeah.
I think the parents are over the top, just absolutely ridiculous with how much they hate their kids, how they treat them, how they
the movie opens up with like them just throwing their son that was just born like a minute ago into the hallway, saying like, "Yeah, you like you interrupted us by being born."
It's cynical and also like they throw out the door where the entire logic of like having kids, they don't even like bring it up. They're just like, oh yeah, mother had a child again, just throw it in the hallway. Which kind of sets the tone of like how absurd this universe is.
Yeah.
And also like just the overall tone of like these kids and their logic. You get the older child, the son, who's like wants to be a respected Willoughby, but obviously is in a family of abusers. And then like the Barnabys, right? The two twins.
Yeah.
Okay, they're pretty great. I like the baby though. I forget her name, but her design was like a beanbag.
Ruth.
And how like Ruth,
You're right.
and how she's tossed around with her little legs, and it's like it's a beanbag essentially. That was pretty great. So there's a part in the movie where the tone shifts and the pacing goes a bit too quick for my liking. Because I liked the slice of life, kind of like establishing the characters, their home, the family dynamic, how they're just completely screwed, and how they deal with it. But then like it got a bit outlandish, and I was like, oh, okay, it's okay, but not as fun as the first half of the movie. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, I again kind of echoing some of like the animation's fun. It's a very exaggerated story. Like these are characters that are just like how even. There are bits of it that in this movie that I find jarring, not necessarily in a bad way, but just in a where the hell did this come from? Like the character design for Mr. Candyman or whatever. Like I'm just like, what? What's this?
Oh yeah, he's voiced by Terry Crews as well.
Yeah.
I feel like the only thing that probably would have helped me with that character would have probably been a little bit more lead in that he existed, because it kind of was like they showed up at his doorstep and this something shows up.
Yeah, and then the nanny mentions like, wait, this guy's real? I thought he was just a mascot. I was like,
It felt like
there was like no lead up to it at all.
It felt like there should have been like a commercial or something that we would have seen before that point, like where it's like
That's a good point. Maybe them, like the parents are watching on TV and they're peeking through the door crack and they see the guy on TV talking about candy and they're like, we wish we could have candy someday.
Right.
That would have that would have, man, me and Coach, I'm a good writer.
When One of my other criticisms about the movie is I think the voice cast is great, except the fact that the girl, I forgot who voices her, but when she sings, it doesn't sound like a kid singing at all.
It's
Yeah,
auto
no, it's not very
Yeah,
auto-tuned
it
as
just
well.
sounds like an adult singing.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
the Barnabys were my favorite like characters in this. Just,
Hi, mommy.
just the way it was just like, my God, they're like
They're
borderline serial killers.
The creepy.
I like how
bugs.
the child protective services were designed to be like the Greys, like the
Yeah,
aliens that
aliens.
protect their children.
Ugh.
That was pretty good. Again, I love the designs.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the cartoony nature of this universe.
Yeah.
I hope that this keeps going on. Like for the longest time, it was like, how can we make animation look realistic
Mhm.
while also having a fantasy aspect or fictional aspect to it? Now it's like, fuck it. Let's just go full on cartoon.
Mhm.
And let's really embrace the what is animation, how it can like break boundaries because you aren't being limited.
Yeah.
So like explore it with like textures and with Trolls World Tour. But by the way, I think it's funny that Trolls World Tour might end up like people are like, well, is this movie going to end up being what ruins the theater industry?
We're gonna talk about that in a bit.
Yep.
Oh, we are? Okay.
It's
okay.
almost
Yeah.
like he knew.
It's almost as if he knew.
That's literally
Yeah.
was going to be our segue.
Anyway, Willoughby's
there you go.
good. If you have Netflix, I highly recommend
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I'd say check it out for sure. It was a fun movie. It's one of those movies I chalk up as it's harmless in the
Yeah.
in the sense that it's like it's fun. It might not be like the perfect movie, but
Yeah.
it's definitely goofy.
Yeah.
So
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was different and fun.
yep. All right, so we're gonna hop away from the spoiler side.
We're gonna talk about the cinemas.
We're gonna talk about this. So this was mentioned. Now we're gonna have Trolls 2 be mentioned in all this. Now, I know Sarah and I haven't seen it, so we're still avoiding spoilers for this. We're just holding.
You
up.
haven't seen Trolls World Tour?
No,
No.
I want to. I'm gonna buy it.
No, you're
at
not.
some
Oh,
point.
you're gonna like a lot, Sarah.
I
It seems
know.
up your alley.
I love the first one, and I know I'm gonna like the.
We
second.
were.
you're gonna love Barb.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, God, just
fun night.
this is funny.
Hooray.
Am I right?
So-
One day.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
We'll get to that. It's. I just remember, hearing people like, I don't know if I foresaw a day where Saber would be telling Sarah, "Oh, you're gonna be liking Trolls 2," when we first saw like the first teaser, and they're like, "It's gonna be a Trolls movie."
Oh.
I think Sarah and I
Oh
looked,
yeah, like everybody hated that teaser.
we were like,
That first teaser.
"What the fuck?" Like, are they that like this was I think right after or close to when Emoji Movie had been announced or something
Yeah.
around that, because I remember like
Yeah, it was
Everyone was a little
announced,
bit
but there was like
jaded.
nothing about it.
so I'm glad to hear though that like hey, Trolls 1 I think was a big surprise for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know it was for me.
I liked it.
And so Trolls 2
Yeah, that teaser.
so essentially what I'm getting at is we're not going to be discussing spoilers in regards to the movie, but maybe instead its impact. There's a weird thing going on right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, hey, we're in a pandemic. Welcome. There's a lot of weird things going on, but of all things, Trolls 2 seems to have like caused this rift in
the cinema community.
So, and Saber, you were just kind of leading into this. I don't know if you want to go any further with this, but yeah, it's
I mean, basically with how like AMC threw a fit, and they're like, we're gonna ban Universal films, and it's like, oh no, was it Universal? It was, yes.
Yeah,
And it's
Universal,
like-
because they own DreamWorks.
Yeah,
What exactly?
because they're upset that Universal's releasing movies on demand instead of releasing it first in theaters. So AMC is preemptively threatening Universal, hoping that it would scare other studios in line. When in reality, it's like, AMC, you're the one who's precariously close to bankruptcy. So I don't know why you're calling the shots when you guys are going to die here if you don't shut your dumb mouth.
Yeah, because like, well, are they going to do the same thing to Warner Brothers? Because like
And they
Warner
do-
Brothers is
they-
releasing Scoob this month.
Yeah.
it's just
Well, there were finally some reports coming where they're like, what, Trolls made over 100 million, and because they're not giving a cut to the theater, that's a bigger profit, I suppose.
Yeah.
A sense of entitlement.
to me it's weird because it's like I don't get where AMC specifically with this, but like any movie theater where they'd be like, well, that's not fair. It's like unless there's a breach of contract, which in that case, it's like, okay, there should already be something written into a clause. I would imagine Matt might know more, but you know, this is unprecedented times, and it's not like the movie. It's not like Universal was like, you know what, screw movie theaters that are open. We're gonna do it this way instead. And oh no, movie theaters lost money. It's like they don't really have a choice right now. It's like adapt, and once things start returning to a normal, then see where things are at. And it's just seems like such a weird time.
It's a threat because they're afraid that if they don't make a stand now and threaten like distributors to wait, then this could cause potentially their downfall completely of their entire industry.
Yeah.
So, you know, I understand why they're freaking out, but threatening like that is like, bro, all it takes is one more distributor to say fuck you, and it's over. Like if Warner or Disney get threatened, they're like, oh, okay, shut up. Like, there's still more theaters out there.
Yeah.
And again, like, I mean, like Laura, we talked about this. Like if you could watch movies at your home, you'd do it in a heartbeat, right?
I would not.
No, for Laura.
No, I'm answering for Laura. No, I'm kidding. Hey, go on.
So
well, you're a fan of
I'm one of those
theater.
like super bitter, miserable people who doesn't really care for the movie experience.
Oh
The
yes,
theater-
Laura. When
the
I think of
theater
you, I think
experience.
bitter and miserable.
Yeah, you know, because like, you know, when I go to watch a movie, I don't want to have to sit like in a theater where people are talking. I don't have to sit in a theater where like I'm going to see an R-rated horror film and someone decided it would be a good idea to bring their 6-year-olds, which has happened more than once to me, and is like, I don't understand.
It's culture.
And it's like, I mean, because it
Laura,
kind of
kids
ruins
will
the
be
experience
kids.
for
What the hell are
me.
you talking about?
Yeah, at an R-rated horror film.
Exactly.
But like, I found this, like, even when it's something that's like, you know, I went to go see Endgame, and like my opinion of that movie unfortunately was swayed because of like the bad theater experience I had, because it was like super packed. There were these like 12-year-old kids sitting next to me who were talking throughout the whole movie. Everybody was like cheering and applauding, and I'm like, I can't hear what the dialogue of the freaking movie. Like, how am I even supposed to know what you're clapping for? So I would much rather watch almost every movie at home by myself because I know it's gonna be quiet. The only thing I take issue with is that, like, you know, you're paying when you go to the theater, you're paying for that theater like setting, like the big screen and the great sound system and everything.
Yeah.
So like, I don't necessarily want to pay the same or more that I would pay to go to a theater if I'm going to be watching it at home,
Right.
because like I'm not getting, you know, the top quality like visuals and sound that I'd be getting in a theater. I'm just getting like my TV, which is not as good, but like there's got to be a way to balance it out for everybody to be happy.
So
I don't know.
What you say there is completely fair, by the way, is that when you want to experience a movie, and I'm very particular about this, which is why I get so pissed off when there are people in a movie theater that just don't understand etiquette. Because you want to have a good first experience, and I think it's totally fair.
I want it to be like me and the movie.
Just
it's just me and the movie.
Yeah, and
I haven't had that in a very long time, by the way, because like where I'm living right now, there's a lot more people. So like, there's always other people in the theater, and there always is at least one group that's like just the worst.
We've had some pretty bad experiences in the last few years as well. Now, granted, we probably hit movies more than the movie theaters.
Yeah.
I think more than anyone else here. But there has
you guys
been.
go to movies all the time.
Yeah.
We do, and the reason. So I wanted to first off like say I totally get that, and the reason I jumped in, because I didn't realize, Saber, you were asking Laura at first. The reason I jumped in with my like, no, I would still go to movie theaters is to kind of display that. To me, it's dumb that movie theaters. I guess I get where their concern is, but there's going to be people that that are about the movie theater experience, and it's like, hey, this is available online, and like Laura pointed out, like for me, the price is the big reason why I'm like, I don't want to rent Trolls 2 at $20 when we were usually seeing the movie at like $12 in the theater. It's like
even less since we had a.
But you're saving money though.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you though?
Dude, and it's
we
like,
were.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, it seems that like going to the theater for you, Race and Sarah, is more of a ritual. and gets you into a state of mind and an atmosphere that you can appreciate your film.
It's the popcorn.
It's the popcorn. But like the theater industry, I mean, like they're freaking out because just opening up the idea that this is an option, they're terrified because I think they're already like, I mean, let's go. Someone think of the billionaires. All right, I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of this. They have yachts that need to be, you know,
maintained,
tended to. Thank you. No, legitimately though, it's stupid. They just don't want folks to find out, and they're too much of a dinosaur industry to figure it out. Because you know what? If it's a good experience, I will go. I can't put a big screen and big sound and 4D experience with shaking chairs in my home. I will go to the theater to go see the next Godzilla film because it's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
If there aren't kids screaming next week, because if there are, I'm gonna atomic breath their ass.
Right.
So
I 100% am on the same page as you, and that's why I don't like going to the theater anymore. So like, I mean, you know me, like I really love movies.
Yeah.
Like I love seeing
you
movies.
do. You're
But
a bigger
like,
movie fan than I am.
I really hate going to the theater because I have not had a good theater experience in like years.
Yeah.
I think actually that's not true. To be fair, like when I went to see Doctor Sleep last year, it was actually fine because it was me and 3 other people in the theater because I went to see it at like 10 a.m. on a Sunday.
Well, to be fair, that's all
It's like,
people who saw the film.
What's that? Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we were the only 4 people who watched the movie, like across the country.
No,
so...
my dad and I saw it too. We were there too. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, see, you were 2 of the 3 people who were there. Yeah.
It was great.
But, like, if I want to see, because again, like when I saw Endgame, I was like really looking forward to seeing Endgame because I was like, you know, I've been invested in this from the beginning, and then it's like I hate everything about this experience, and it's ruining this movie for me.
Yeah.
So that was a bad time.
No, I get it. I get that. I totally get that frustration. I don't know where we lost it because I do, and I think Paleo also can lean on this, in that there's, to me, it feels like lately, it's not even the kids that I blame for this. It's like the adults will show up in a movie.
Parents. Yeah, absolutely.
And they'll be the one. I can't remember what movie it was.
Turn off your phone,
Oh
Jesus
my God.
Christ!
Turn off. Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother damn thing.
Like, not even like. People think there's like, oh yeah, you're not supposed to talk on your phone. It's like, but also turn your phone off because it's a bright fucking light.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you shouldn't be texting in the middle of a movie. Like everybody can see what you're doing.
You pay it enough to get into that movie to see that thing.
Yes.
Indulge in that thing.
Like my whole point of like going to see movies is just so I have like no distractions around me at all, and I turn my phone
I would love
off.
to be able to do that because I agree. Like I get distracted, especially now because I have Animal Crossing. I'm like, I want to watch this movie. I'm like, I'll just play Animal Crossing for a little bit during it, and then I'll just focus on the movie, and that doesn't happen. Which like I like to have that separation and like the cool experience, but like every time I go, it's just a nightmare.
And I think that's what helps me. Or not I shouldn't say helps me, but that's one thing I love about the movie theater side, going to the movies, is that it forces me into that sit back, you got your popcorn, a drink, got my wife, and we have the movie, and I know that I'm not going to be like, oh, I should scroll through my
I should
phone.
do my laundry.
Yeah. Oh crap. Speaking of, anyways, yeah, no, so yeah, like I think it's Saber used the term dinosaur, and the fact of how long it took movie theaters just to get to the point where you can do what Sarah and I do with the subscription stuff, essentially the movie pass thing.
Yeah, that took a long time for them to actually pick up on that.
Yeah, it was like wow, okay, we're there now. You know, movie theaters can do better.
Yeah.
And
by a long shot.
And I don't want to. The thing is, like, I don't want to see them go away. You know, and maybe I am in the minority in regards to, you know, because I don't feel like there's a lot of people that still go to the movies. I mean, and that could just be our area, you know. But yeah, like it definitely, unless it's like a big hit, sometimes we are surprised at how few people are in a theater with us.
Yeah.
And that's why for me it's like it's even more frustrating when it's like there are literally only 2 other people in this movie. Yeah. Shut up. Stop talking. So yeah, I think parents need to relearn etiquette. You know, especially if they're bringing their kids. Like I would not bring my kid to the theater unless they understood you will not talk during the movie. If you have a question, you ask me after the movie. Just shut up.
Yeah, that's like a huge issue because I mean, when I was, of course, when I was a kid, my parents did that, and it's like if you are disruptive during the movie, we're gonna leave, and you're not gonna be able to watch the rest of the movie. But then they'd actually follow through with it,
Yeah.
not say that, and then
Funny
once we're
that.
in there, I start talking, and then be like, "Oh, you gotta be quiet, or we're gonna leave," and then never do anything about it. It's just like I don't know if it's like there's just like a very high concentration of bad parents around me at all times, or if it's like a modern thing where it's like people just don't
It's funny
care what
that
their
way.
kids are doing.
It's funny. We were talking about this last night about how friggin' the people who would be best as parents don't want kids, and the people
Yeah,
who are bad parents do have kids.
I said that to you. I said the people
Yeah.
who like are like, oh man, humanity's pretty crowded. For the good of the earth, we should probably not have kids. Are the people who are being responsible, and probably in a better place to have kids and raise them. It's just, I don't know. That's an entire societal issue that's incredibly difficult and complicated. But still, like
Yep.
that's one of my biggest issues ever with parents and kids when they bring them to any public gathering or anything like that, and they're like, sorry, kids are kids. Then it's like, fucking stop. Be a good parent. Take them away. Like my
Yep.
little sister has a son who's pretty energetic, and she will be just instant lightning with disciplining him. And I'm surprised as hell. I'm like, good job. Like, that's good on you for intervening and knowing how to bring the hammer down. Because then that's gonna make your life easier because bad kids become bad adults.
Yep.
So and that's much worse. So that's. So yeah, Trolls 2 sucks. I don't know.
Conclusion.
So I think I've talked to Saber about this before, where like I really want, and like this is kind of goes back to when you guys were talking about movie theaters just like doing better in general.
Mhm.
I think there's a like very clear opportunity for them to be like, okay, well we're gonna have age restricted showings of every movie, so whatever, not necessarily every day, but like over the weekend we're gonna have like one theater that's showing whatever movie be like the family friendly one, and we'll have like you can bring your kids, the lights are gonna be a little bit lighter so the kids don't get freaked out in the dark. It's gonna be like a little bit easier for like sensory wise, so that like kids aren't getting too crazy, and like but you're going there because they're going to be kids.
We'll have
You're
some
not
don't
gonna-
spend
Yeah,
time.
there's
Yeah, and
there's
then, like-
community pools
I like
and this shit
that.
all the time.
there's like certain where certain animated movies where I'm like, okay, this animated movie is playing at 10 p.m. Why would you bring your kid to this at 10
Right?
p.m. at night?
Yeah.
Your kid should be asleep.
And then it's like they're extra loud because they're cranky because they're sleepy. But like then you can also have adult showings, and like it doesn't matter what the movie is, just be like, all right, we're gonna have this 10:30 p.m. showing of whatever movie it is, and no one's allowed in the theater under 18, and like it's show ID or whatever, and like whatever age it is, it doesn't matter. Just to be like, we're gonna not have children here because there are people who want to actually watch the damn movie, and we're gonna more strictly enforce like talking and cell phone and like other stuff that like people normally can kind of get away
Yeah,
with.
I would say nobody under 13 because teenagers should know
Yeah,
better.
they don't.
Yeah, but
The only- I guess
Taylor,
I would say
teenagers are
17,
cool.
maybe because like that's the supposed cutoff for R-rated things, and that's the actual cutoff for NC-17, even though no one uses it. But
Yeah.
like that way you can be like, all right, it's adults only, like no kids. And even then you can have more than just those two things.
Mhm.
So it can just be like, we're gonna have custom experiences for like people who want a specific movie experience, and like I mean I'd pay more to go to a showing that's not gonna have any kids in it and everyone has to be quiet,
Why can't I just get my freaking adult viewing of Bob the Builder the movie? Like, just give it to me.
Although
I would spend probably I would say up to an extra $6, which I
Yeah.
think that's fair. If you have a whole bunch of people paying $6, not for that, but I was gonna say, I hate the idea that I have to be like a custom movie experience when no one uses their phone. But I mean, like, if I could pay that and there was a guy just sitting in the back and any cell phone he saw, he just
Exactly.
walk up, he's like, get out, get out, get out, get
Yep,
out.
no chances. It's just you do it once and you're out. Like you should know
Right.
better.
Agreed.
We told you.
Yeah. I would pay $6 extra for that. I really would.
I would too every time.
Yeah. That I
But then
I
that
wish
would
there
that
was
would
a way.
suck for the non custom movie theater. Then people could use my stuff.
Yeah, but then
That
it's
would-
like you know that going in, so they can like
Right.
have like this is just your regular movie theater. Like we're not gonna have extra security. It's just like
Mhm.
we have these rules in place, and if you want to complain about it, you can, but we're not gonna have someone in there.
Mhm.
And it's just like just have like maybe a showing a week that's like that because it's
Right.
like
It's like
it's
that's the
more
one I'm going
accommodating.
to.
Yeah.
I still don't understand, like, because I'm convinced that people are just stupid, and like when if it is a group where there's like there's like 6 people in the theater, Sarah and I are 2 of them, like why is it always the person that sits as close to the screen
Close to
compared
your
to
screen.
everyone else that is the one who's like, I'm gonna use my phone? I'm like, if you know you're gonna use your phone, why don't you sit in like the corner in the back? And even then I still
Yeah.
get pissed off because like if I see it out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, oh, I'm
Oh,
growling.
it's distracting. Yep.
I'm growling. So yeah, no, I totally.
And like, oh my gosh, sometimes, actually, I say sometimes, a lot of times, if you call out a person and you like bring it to like the people outside, like, hey, someone's doing something annoying in the theater, they just kind of like look the other way. They don't like do anything, and it's like, can we just hire someone
A
to
bouncer.
be the theater bouncer? Yes, be the theater bouncer.
Please.
So
oh
I
my
don't have
God,
to do
yes.
it, so you don't have to get upset when I come at you with that information. Just hire someone.
You know what we do is we just need to train society. All of us just need to do it where we all just like get on the second that phone comes out, we all need to be like, hey, asshole.
That
Right.
actually happened at one of the movies I went to go see. It was like Tomb Raider in 2018 when I went to go see that, and like this guy, there was this woman that was on her cell phone, and she was also like commenting throughout the movie as well.
My God.
And there was this guy, like a couple seats in front of me, that said like, "Hey, could you please get off your cell phone?" And he said it like really sternly, and she was like,
Hell
"Oh."
yeah.
And then she started commenting it again, and then he said, "Can you please be quiet?" I was like, "Yes, this guy."
We all
The
need
Chad
that guy.
movie commentator.
Can I hire him? I will pay him
Yeah,
a good
and, like-
salary.
Can you go to like every movie I ever go to with me and just yell at people if they're being loud? Because I'm not intimidating.
Part of me, oh man, if we ever see a movie together, it would be sad to not sit together. But if we could like spread out, be like 6
Oh,
different
God,
people, and then someone calls them out, and if that person like doubles down on being an asshole, there's 5 other people to call out that person.
Oh hell yeah.
I'm starting
Because
to
if it's
throw
all of us,
popcorn.
if it's all of us together, then it's like, oh, they're the same group. But if we're just spread out, oh my god, yes.
Hell
See,
yeah.
that's the other
That'd
reason
be a
I
good
buy
experiment,
popcorn.
actually.
Yeah.
Right.
I buy popcorn just so I can throw it at people if they have their phones out and be like, oh, and they're like, well,
What would you do if it was like somebody like Robert De Niro in Cape Fear, where he's just like putting his legs up on the chair and he's like smoking a cigar and just laughing super loud at the movie?
at least he's enjoying it.
Sir, please stop enjoying the movie so intensely.
We got a super chat from Anime Guy 01 says paying $10 per person, $15 for popcorn and a drink, and $3 to $5 per box of candy just to talk in a theater during a movie.
So,
There are
did you want to
people.
see the movie? Like,
Right?
I still don't understand people that sit through an hour and a half of a 2-hour movie and leave
Yeah.
3/4 of the way
Oh my god.
because they're like,
I don't understand people who show up 30 minutes late.
Yeah.
Yo, when I went to see Hereditary, I went by myself, which I'd normally do for horror movies. But like the couple next to me was like real drunk, and they left like an hour and 20 minutes in, just like, I don't even know what's going on. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I've never been more stressed out in my life right now.
No, they were drunk.
That's what it was. They're like real drunk the whole time. I'm just like, what's going on? I don't get it. I'm just
This
like,
is the worst Casper the
my
Friendly
whole-
Ghost sequel.
right? I was like, my whole reality is shattering around me. What's wrong with you?
God, that reminds me. This is a slight tangent, but I remember, I've been going to the racetrack my whole life on Saturdays, so this is
Batting on the Greyhounds.
tough time. Right? Yes, the dog track. And I remember this one time, this lady was like all mad about everything. And the event had just started, and there was a sometimes they do these little races before the main event start that they call like trophy dashes.
Yeah.
And it was like a 6-lap race with 6 cars from the field. There are 18 cars in that field, but they're like, here are the fastest 6, and they're going to race for a trophy and a check. And it's like, okay, cool. And the lady got so mad. She's like, seriously, this is it? And she left after this. She grabbed her kids and left after this. She's like, this is the worst thing ever. And I'm
Oh
just
my
like,
Really?
I'm like, listen,
Jesus Christ.
Karen, you could have waited like
Yeah, there it is.
5 minutes and been like, oh, there's stuff.
Here's the main event.
I was insulted because, again, it's like, you're insulting my lifestyle right now, lady. Why don't you never come back? But no, I just, yeah.
Let's hear Karen.
I want popcorn now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
That's
this
what-
talk of movies, and now he wants popcorn.
I want popcorn.
Well, we can watch Herbie Goes Bananas, and you can.
Thank you.
Do popcorn.
This is true love in motion right here.
Are you guys watching it through the
We're-
Herbie movies?
Yeah, we're watching through the Herbie movies.
Those were my childhood, man. I never actually saw the 4th movie. I saw the 5th movie with
Lindsay Lohan.
Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, good.
That was filmed at Irwindale, the track I work at,
Yeah.
by the way. Some of that. So.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Name
I got
drop.
street cred, man. Herbie. All right. Well, that was good. That was a good discussion. We still have about I think about 18 minutes where we'll open things up to Q&A as a reminder. So I know a lot of people have already figured out that whole super chat deal. I like how Jax's is still sitting there. Click on that.
Yeah, it's almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
You're
it's
right.
almost
It's
gone.
almost gone. I was like, wait. Yeah, the super chat. We'll prioritize those questions, but you can also submit a question on Twitter #SPP questions, and yeah, go ahead and send us anything. Doesn't have to pertain to any of the topics we've done here. It can. They could be completely random. Make us think. Just ask us weird stuff.
Yeah.
We're down with weird stuff. That being mentioned, I think it's this weekend. BabsCon is hosting an online convention,
Yep.
and Saberspark and I are going to be interviewed, it sounds like, on the Not Horse Famous panel. I believe those guys also have a podcast that they do. And so, yeah, they wanted to do an interview with Saber and I. It'll be 3 p.m. Wait, is it 3? I forget it was 3 or 3:30 Pacific time. I'm looking. I think some of them are in here right now, so they might be able to help out. Norm Mermaid with the super chat, just saying Karens ruin everything. Don't they? It's 3:30, so 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern. That is PM. And yeah, we'll see what kind of cues they have for us to A. Sarah, what do we got?
All right, we got Waddles asking thoughts on Disney is making a live-action remake of Hercules. Is that a
Is
thing
that-
that
Yes.
they've announced? Oh shit.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, that
they
was
made
a.
it.
Yeah, that's a thing that's happening.
Man.
You can go to Wikipedia and they have like a whole page on all the things that they're remaking into
boys.
live action movies,
How-
and it just like it will destroy your soul. Like it'll just take it right out of your body.
Did they released? I haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
But didn't they already release the Lady and the Tramp live action one?
It was a Disney Plus.
Yeah, that's a Disney
exclusive.
Plus
Yep.
one.
How was that one? Was that one okay? Because
I don't know.
Given
Like,
that it's
it's
a Disney Plus exclusive, I don't
Fine.
think
It's fine. Oh no, Sarah, don't spoil.
It's like it's fine. I didn't get angry at it like I did Lion King.
Let's see. Where's Zootopia?
Boy, it sure must suck to also Lion King live action. You could be like me and just not watch it. That was cool.
A Robert Zemeckis Pinocchio movie?
good. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's doing that.
That's supposed to be cool though, I think.
Oh,
That's so
Hunchback
funny,
of
The
Don't
Lion King-
encourage them.
The Lion King live action movie, literally, like everyone told me, like, do not watch this. I was like, all right.
Not shit.
I just can't wait to see Bambi.
I was told by multiple sources.
Yeah, do not watch it, Hero. Do not.
Bambi better be like just a nature documentary following a deer.
That'd be great. I want to see
Oh,
that.
God, yes. Narrated by David Attenborough.
And
I like that
you
too.
see The skunk.
Let's see.
They're Twitter pated.
Why like that?
That's good.
This is what I hear David Attenborough say Twitter pated.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We've got a question from Ozial. Semi Perfect Pod. Did you know that there's going to be a Johnny Test reboot coming to Netflix as well as a web series
Yep.
before it's taking down on YouTube because animation is so bad?
Because animation is so what?
Bad.
I guess Johnny. Yeah, I guess the reboot of a bad thing is not a bad idea because you can make it.
Unless
good.
it's worse, which it is.
Oh. Oh. Oh, is it out already?
That one like animation that they uploaded,
Mhm.
it looks real bad.
Mm.
Like
Apparently,
the
that's not the
lip-syncing is-
official one, though.
But is
They
it
had nowhere to go but up, and they still went down. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
like no? When you say official, what do you mean?
That's not the main reboot they've been talking
Yeah,
about.
but-
That was some bonus thing they threw out.
Yeah, a bonus thing, but saying it's not official sounds like it's fan made.
Well, okay.
When it's not
was-
fan made.
It wasn't fan made, but it was
Yeah.
not the reboot that they're talking about. Apparently, I'm being fair. I don't even expect the reboot to be good, but
Yeah.
still, like that wasn't it.
Is it the one we deserve? I don't even know what Johnny Test is. I'll be honest.
Unless
awful, that's what it
the
is.
official reboot does have the same animation, then it's gonna be like it's gonna look real
Is it
bad.
Johnny Bravo in
Oh,
school.
that's gonna be heartbreaking,
Mm.
but not surprising.
Yeah.
It's the crossover episode between Johnny Bravo and Johnny Test. Yep. You got
And
it.
Johnny
Johnny- and
Quest.
And Johnny Quest,
That's what I meant. Yes.
and then Johnny from Ed, Ed and Eddie.
We have a super chat from Anime Guy 01 asking Fave Prince of Egypt song.
Hmm.
I mean, it's the plagues.
yeah, I would say that one too.
All of them?
I think Through Heaven's Eyes is my favorite.
Yes.
Still
I
haven't
agree.
Oh,
seen it.
Wait, you what?
I still haven't seen it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
It's-
I know it's good. I know it's good. I heard. I've done heard.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
DreamWorks' best 2D movie. Their 2D movies don't feel like their movies.
Right.
They do not.
It
They're too
holds up
good.
surprisingly well with age too. That's the best part.
Agreed.
Mhm.
Yeah, agreed.
Colors of the Wind. I can't think of any of the songs.
Playing with the big boys now.
Is that actually from?
Yes.
Yes, I love that so much.
That doesn't sound. That sounds like it's
Steve
from
Martin.
like. Just sounds like it's from like some like
It's
stage.
yeah, it's pretty out of place for the movie, but I still love it. A lot of good songs in that movie. It's hard to pick a favorite, but I think Through Heaven's Eyes. is
Silent Night is pretty good. Jingle Bells. I don't know.
I like the
Great.
part where God killed a bunch of children. That was my favorite.
That is the best part.
Yeah.
Shit.
He's like, they won't show up in the theater. I'm gonna kill all their firstborns.
Wow.
Wait, we're killing children in Western animation? I thought it was like an anime thing.
To be fair, it was made in Eastern culture.
Well, yeah, it's a Bible story, so.
Right,
What part of the Bible was that in?
Uh,
The back.
No, the two places where children are killed, the anime and the Bible, right?
Yep.
With anime God on my side.
I think actually.
Oh
that-
my
if I
God.
recall, there was a story in the Bible where, like, I think it was like one of the apostles was walking through, and a bunch of kids laughed at him, and they're like, "Ha, you're an ass," and he's like, "Fuck you, God, let a bear eat them," and God's like, "Got you," and a bear like ate the kids. I have to go
What?
find it. I need to verify. I was like in chapel and back in my Christian high school, and they mentioned that story, and I was like, "That's a real like." Talk about a grudge. Like, God, have a bear kill these kids. And it's like, what?
It's a bit petty, don't you think?
So, like, you know, the Bible is written by, like, a bunch of people, and, like, they're adding their stories, and, right? I like to think that that was one of those, like, fanfic ones that got snuck in there somehow, like,
Yeah, right.
over the years.
Oops.
It's just somebody snuck that in without God knowing.
Yeah,
Well,
he probably-
God didn't write the Bible.
He edited.
He had a
it.
bunch of
He's
ghost
literally
writers.
omniscient, so I don't know how that'd be possible,
He's
but
the,
yes.
he's the editor, guys, obviously. Let's see. Question from Santo Celine. Here's an interesting one. What made you the most angry at something of malice?
Of what? What was the last part?
Huh?
Of it just says parentheses of malice. What made you the most angry at something?
Yeah, what
Like,
made
what's
you
the most angry you've been at something?
Like ever?
Yeah.
Like ever.
And
Wow.
something or someone.
Either.
Yeah.
It does say something.
It says something.
I mean, pleasingly, I
People-
guess, for better or for worse, I don't harbor many of those memories.
I got really angry at a Furby once and threw it against the wall.
The ultimate form of anger.
No, I fucking hated that thing when I was a kid. Like, I got a Furby for Christmas, whatever, because it was like the most popular toy. And I got so sick of it that eventually I just threw it against my bedroom wall, and then it started like screaming and stuff. Like, it just started like breaking and all that stuff.
Melting.
And I ripped the batteries out, and I was just like, good riddance.
Traumatized by a
Excuse me,
Furby.
Sarah.
Yeah.
You should see how
No.
she treats me.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Did she rip your batteries out?
Rip your batteries out.
I probably deserve it though. Sarah's like, I'm nice. She is nice. I'm gonna say, I don't know if much brings out my anger the way some video games have, and I'm not gonna say what video game it is.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say there's a video game coming up on Ready Player Dumb that just infuriated me. I was so mad. You'll see.
I think I know what it is.
Oh, you do know what it is.
And when
Anyway,
he says coming up,
I-
it's probably not going to
I
be
get-
released for a little while.
yeah,
Um,
think.
Mine
Eventually.
is so to get into NC State, that college. I didn't get into NC State at first, even though I busted my butt in high school. So like, okay, so I had to go to another college that I didn't enjoy it, and I also busted my ass there too. Got the best grades of my life to get out of that college and get into NC State the next semester. I felt really like proud of myself for like busting my butt and getting into the college that I wanted to get into, even though I didn't get into it the first time. So after working so hard, I took Spanish for a semester. I can't even remember why, because I just wanted to take Japanese, but I took Spanish for a semester. And somebody got their quiz back. There was somebody sitting next to me, got their quiz back, and he had a 4 out of 5. And he turned to me and asked me, like, sorry, how much is this in percent? I was like, how did you get into NC State? But I did, like, what the? No, a 4 out of 5 is 80%? Are you kidding?
There's a lot of questions that like people ask where I'm like, how are you driving? You are behind the wheel on the highway. I don't feel safe with you out there. I'm gonna revoke your license right now.
I just like I really can't like explain how many like sleepless nights of just nonstop studying. I was like, I have to get like the best grades I can get out of here. It was like no joke. And then that guy, I like couldn't even think straight. It was terrible. I was so mad.
We had a super chat from Quinn Fawcett saying, "Out here waiting on the Chicken Little live action movie." Aren't we all, Quinn? Aren't we all? Anime Guile
Speak for
one
yourself.
with a super chat question asking, "Fave moment in Kingdom Hearts so far." So of what's been released so far, Sarah, what's your favorite moment?
Oh, I'm gonna kind of maybe give a non-answer. Just anything with Goofy and Donald is just I cling to the Goofy, Donald, and Sora trio because the Final Fantasy stuff that's going on, I'm just like, what's happening? What's going on?
Donald.
Zexy and Lexus.
I hear it
and-
makes more sense as we go.
Yeah, okay.
Totally.
I don't know, like, just, I'm there for the Disney stuff, and whenever the Disney stuff, I feel like everybody knows that I'm happier because I feel like my face lights up when I'm like, a new Disney world, a new Disney thing, in the sea of all this Final Fantasy, and, you know, and I'm just like, yay, Disney.
With Disney at.
There's been
So
It's really just Nomura's like OCs inserted into Disney stuff.
it's no more OCs. That absolutely
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
There's not a single person who can explain to me the story of Organization 13. When they need to start saying the characters' names, I'm like, you lost me. This game is literally a joke. It's an absolute joke. Those names are ridiculous.
Xehanort, Malusha, Larxene.
You can't say those names seriously. Like, you can't.
And I have X's in them because X's are edgy.
I love the moments that catch us off guard and make us laugh. I know a recent one that was when Clayton ended up on his invisible chameleon, and we were just watching this like, what the hell was
there was no context for this chameleon character, like, at all.
Yeah,
because it was like, invisible the whole time.
Floating around with his legs spread. It was just, alright, I got my fart booster on, here we go!
Gorillas.
That fight is really obnoxious on critical mode. Oh my goodness, I hate that fight.
What other questions we have here, Sarah?
Let's see here.
Here's one. Nathaniel asking, what is the most underrated convention you guys have been to?
Fiesta Equestria.
Is Fiesta going to be your answer?
Yeah.
I'm thinking...
I feel like all the conventions I go to are pretty rated.
Right. I was thinking Fiesta too, because it was always kind of
a smaller
get together, but it was.
I also liked it being small. Like, I don't know, it was like
it seemed like it was kind of scrappy.
Yeah, like it almost family-ish, in the sense that like it was the same people going every year.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't. I think it grew each year, but not like too much. I don't know. It was a really nice experience. It's just like a get together with friends in a hotel, basically, and you see the people the next year, and you're like, hey.
It was all. I mean, it was literally also the introduction to us to like Saber Night ever being part of Who's Line.
Yeah.
Yep, that was where it started.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, and
there's a lot of good stuff from.
I always enjoyed their like the panels that they had there, the stuff they had us be a part of. That was always fun. I think the other one I'd say, and it's just out of sheer like, wow. Was probably like Brony Fair in Germany, because again it was a small convention, but they were like, hey, come on out, and it was like, okay, cool. All right,
I've never been to Germany before.
So I mean Fiesta Equestria was always just endearing. We always called it like the little cousin convention. It was like, we love our
It really was.
Yeah, and it was always
it was putting up a hell of a fight.
Yes it did. Good 3 years there.
I feel like the way I rate conventions is almost by like how many of my friends are there. Like it has like 10%, like, not 10. That's an exaggeration. It has like 25% to do with the actual convention, and like 75% with the experience I'll have with my friends at
You're
that
right.
convention.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a good point.
Definitely. Let's see here. I'm just looking at some of these cues. Quiet Storm, I'll just mention this. Quiet Storm pointed out that we never did discuss the Nirvana episode from DuckTales, and I think that was because I hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, last week neither of us had seen it yet.
So
we forgot to mention it this week.
If we remember, we'll discuss it next time.
I guess so.
Just remind us, Quiet Storm, next time.
Yeah, Nora, Quiet Storm, remind us next time.
Yeah. Let's see here. Lost Page 121 asking, when you hear Zootopia, what do you instantly feel? Anyone?
Wait, what was that?
When you hear Zootopia, what do you instantly feel?
Regret.
Oh, God.
Damn. I'm out here with the wholesome answer. I was just going to say happiness, because it was a good movie.
I think everyone else here has associated with race.
Yeah.
Wow, so that's how I make you guys feel. Okay.
No, we feel much worse about you.
Bliss. Bliss. No, it's bliss. I like that question.
B-stars.
Aspiring Canadians asking if anyone's picked up any new skills during quarantine, and then says, I've personally begun learning how to play the guitar.
Excellent. Commendable.
My video games skills.
They're really picking up, yeah.
Wow.
Not really.
God.
As for me, I don't think I have not picked up any skills yet, because all I'm doing is filming all day. I guess maybe streaming and doing computer stuff, I guess, is a skill that I've learned since starting Ready Player Dumb.
There you go. Anyone else pick up any new skills?
I guess I should have mentioned this when you're like, how have your weeks been? I bought, excuse me. I bought a Pump It Up cabinet, which if you don't know what Pump It Up is, it's Dance Dance Revolution, but it uses diagonals instead of cardinal directions.
Yeah.
It hasn't arrived yet. It's gonna arrive next week, but I've been playing in quotations. I've been loading YouTube videos and like ghost stepping along because I want to be better when the game arrives. So I have improved without even having the game, as weird as that may sound. Yeah. So that's the skill. I've been getting better at Pump It Up, and when my machine comes in, I will hopefully be getting even better. I bought it for exercise because treadmills are very boring to me.
Yeah.
I don't like running outside.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I know Saber's been honing his cooking craft.
Yeah.
Trying.
I'm gonna come over and eat your food someday.
Sounds so threatening.
It was threatening. Last
I'm worried Jax is in the back like, Hero, those aren't even the same exercises. They don't work the same. I'm like, I'm sure he's doing it. I'm sorry, Jax.
One other question we have here from BW Rosas asking, will you do a Brony react to best gift ever, Forgotten Friendship, and other episodes? Take care. I don't know what for sure yet is going to be in the plan because I'm kind of still seeing what happens with this Pony Life stuff, but the plan is to probably hit up some. Yeah. I know we've talked about like season 1 episodes that we never did. Like we never did the premiere. We never did the finale of season 1. Mm-hmm. And we never did the intro to season 2, so I know those are ones I've eyed. There's also other ones that we might pick up at some point just for fun. Yeah. Just have some.
Yeah.
Have some
a lot of the Equestria Girls stuff is pretty neat.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like the best.
So yeah. So I mean, those are all options, but yeah. That's going to be a wrap here on the Semi-Perfect Podcast. Want to thank all of our podcasters for joining us here tonight, all of our live audience, and of course everyone listening on delay. And a huge shout out to our super chatters. You guys were going nuts there, especially Jax Blade. Just going all out, and Missy, of course, with your generosity. Thank you so much.
Saberspark.
But the ultimate.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Saberspark.
Y'all are nuts, and we love you.
We also have Anime Guy and Drummershy and Mermaid Quinn Fawcett. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you all so much. We'll be back in 2 weeks. That will be May 20th. Yeah, we'll be back for more Semi-Perfect Podcasts. Yep. As mentioned, I know Saber and I will be taking part in the BabsCon stuff this weekend, so that should be fun. Also, yeah, as far as we go, I know more content to come, and I'm sure with others here. Yeah, anyone else got any projects you guys want to announce before we go?
Nothing for me.
All right.
POS podcast next week.
Yeah, go tune into the POS podcast.
Do it. With that, we want to say have a great night, stay safe, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thank you, everybody. This was a Semi-Perfect Podcast.
God damn it, hold on. Jax Blade just sent...
Yep. Whoa!
God damn it, Jax Blade. Saying, I'm not nuts, love you, dork.
Holy crap, Jax.
Holy shit, Jax. Thank you.
You're overly generous. Thank you.
Look at his dude.
Ponies.
Good night, everybody.
Don't forget to say dumb ponies.
Dumb ponies.
Oh wait, it's in pesos.